Hey guys, today I'm going to read you a story. This story is a folktale. A folktale is a story that has been told over and over again for many generations, just like Cinderella, the Three Little Pigs, and the Little Red Riding Hood. Now, before we get to know this story, we need to learn a little information so you can understand how it came to be.
This was Christopher Columbus. He was the explorer credited for discovering America. Columbus wanted to find sea routes to the Far East. He wanted to find a new route to India, China, Japan, and the Spice Islands. Instead, he ended up discovering America, or as they came to call it, the New World.
You see, when Christopher Columbus got to the New World, meaning America, he thought he got to India. But he didn't get to India. He got to discover a new place. But the catch was, it wasn't really a new place since there were people living there already who had discovered these places many years ago. These native inhabitants or indigenous people already had their own names, even though he called them Indians, thinking he got to India. In Puerto Rico lived the Tainos, and the Tainos were a peaceful tribe. And this story is about the Tainos. The story I'll be reading is The Legend of the Hummingbird, a tale from Puerto Rico, retold by Michael Rose Ramirez and illustrated by Margaret Sanfilippo. On the cover of the story, we have a hummingbird. In Puerto Rico, we call it picaflor or colibrí. Now, as we already know, we're going to be talking about the indigenous people or native inhabitants of Puerto Rico, the Tainos. First page of the story, we have this girl, a Taina. And so it begins. It says, high in the mountains lived the daughter of a chief. Her name was Alida, and her tribe was called the Tainos. Alida was the daughter of the chief, who we called, do you know how we call the chief of the Tainos? Yeah, that's right, cacique. We can also see where they lived, the Bohíos. Alida's favorite place was the sparkling waterfall that tumbled into a small pool. All around the pool were rocks and tall trees. The trees kept Alida's special place hidden. One day, while Alida was at the hidden pool, she was surprised by a visitor, a boy about her own age. The boy joined Alida on the rocks. Wow, this is the new character, a boy. I wonder. And we have Alida here on the waterfalls. It sort of reminds me of when we visit El Yunque, the rainforest, right? My name is Taru, the boy said. I come to this place too. I like to sit by the pool and pick fruit from the trees. Here we have them, both of them talking. Alida and Taru dipped their bare feet into the cool water, and they talked and they talked. Taru knew that they were from different tribes, and after a while, he told Alida he was a Caribe. Caribe? Does that mean that Taru is not a Taino, and will that bring problems? Let's see. Oh, look at her face. Alida was suddenly filled with fear. But the Caribes are an enemy tribe of the Tainos, she exclaimed. Okay. Taru tried to comfort her. Yes, it is true, he said softly, but I wish you no harm. I want only peace and friendship. Taru's words were sincere, and so Alida trusted him. So you see, the Tainos were native from Puerto Rico, but the Caribe, they weren't really native inhabitants of Puerto Rico. They used to visit, and they were known to be a violent indigenous tribe. Okay, they were violent. But as it seems, Taru wasn't that kind of Caribe. Uh-oh, let's see what happens. I think there's sort of falling for each other. But here we see somebody. Soon, Alida and Taru became good friends. They met at the hidden pool whenever they could. They spent hours talking and laughing together. Before long, their friendship turned into love. They hoped to marry. The young couple tried to keep their love a secret, but one day, someone saw them together and told Alida's father. So obviously, this man over here, he's a Taino, and he saw them together. And remember, Alida is the daughter of the chief of the boss, the cacique. And the cacique would never agree to have a Taina and a Caribe together in marriage. Alida was forbidden to go back to the pool, and her father immediately arranged for her to marry someone else. Poor Alida, she's so sad. She must be heartbroken. Alida was filled with sadness. One evening, as her wedding day drew near, Alida called to the stars. "Please help me," she cried. "Don't let me marry a man I do not love." The stars heard Alida's plea. They knew of her love for Taru, and they wanted to help her quickly. They changed Alida into a beautiful red flower. Meanwhile, Taru returned every day to their special place. He waited and waited. He did not know why Alida had stopped coming. Here we see Taru waiting, and he never saw Alida again. Why? Because the stars turned her into a flower. Now, this flower is endemic, meaning native to Puerto Rico. We call it, do you know the name of this flower? Flor de maga. In English, we refer to it as hibiscus. Poor Taru, he didn't know that his love Alida turned into a flor de maga. Now, what will Taru do? It looks as he's looking at that's right, the moon. Let's see. Then one night, the moon called down to Taru and explained what had happened. "Alida's father learned of your secret love and planned another marriage for her," the moon said gently. "But Alida asked the stars for help, and they changed her into a red flower." Oh, it seems like he liked that news. Taru was overjoyed. "Which flower?" he called to the stars. "Oh, please help me find her." How will he be able to find the flower? What will the moon do? Who do we see here? Let's see. The stars heard Taru's plea and they wanted to help him too. Quickly, they changed Taru into a tiny bird. Oh, so the stars also helped Taru and turned him into the hummingbird, the colibri, or the picaflor, right? This is Taru. Taru when he was a human, and now a hummingbird. "Now you can fly," said the stars. "Find your love among the flowers." And so the tiny bird flew off. As he did, his wings made a sweet humming sound that filled the night air. Now, I don't know about you guys, but looking for Alida as a red flower has to be a little bit difficult since they all look alike. The next day, the people discovered the tiny new bird, as fast as an arrow and as colorful as a jewel. Taru the bird kissed each petal with his long bill, hoping to find the red flower that was Alida. So basically, we don't know if every time we see a hummingbird trying to get the flower, maybe it's Taru looking for Alida. And the people loved the humming music the bird made with his wings. They decided to call this new bird the Hummingbird. From that day on, hummingbirds have hovered over many flowers, but it has always liked the red ones best of all. People say it is Taru still looking for his lost love, Alida. And that's it, guys. That's the end. So maybe you've seen Taru looking for his Alida. Have you seen a flor de manga? And have you seen a pica de flor? Or colibri, meaning hummingbird? Well, that's all, you guys. Have a nice day.